There are situations that come up that you can't really, that Lizzie can't really calculate the taxes for you. Some examples might be that you need to collect a DMV tax for another state, where you're having to call the state and ask them what the tax is, and then you're submitting the tax to them from your location. And there's other situations that come up as well. Now, the way that we work around this is obviously we can't calculate the tax or know how much to calculate the tax for every situation that ever comes up. So what we do is we do give you the ability to manually enter in taxes. So instead of having Lizzie automatically calculate the tax for you, you can actually create what we call a manual tax, where you will put in the dollar amount. It'll still show on your tax report. Everything still works the same as far as Lizzie's concerned, but instead of her automatically calculating the tax, you will be doing it yourself. So in this situation, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to settings, and then we're going to come over to general, and we're going to go to tax rates. So we're going in the same place that we would normally create the taxes, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select this option here for manual tax. And when you do that, you notice that the drop list changes to just a text field. So I'm just going to put in, we'll just say Glenn's tax. And so we'll pick our liability account that we're going to use whenever we enter numbers into this, so that it shows up on the GL correctly. And then I also want to say that on that particular thing, I pay, whatever department that we pay that particular tax to. Now, what we're going to do at this point is we're just going to go ahead and save the tax. And so down here in the list, you'll have Glenn tax listed down here. Now, I'm not putting a rate in there for it because, again, Lizzie is not going to be calculating this. This is something you're going to have to do on your own. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to invoicing, and I'm just going to jump over to this invoice that I already had, and let's add this tax to the invoice. So to do that, we're going to click on the pencil. We're going to come over here to the tax, and we're going to find Glenn tax. And you'll notice when I do this, it pops open a field for me to enter the tax amount. So I'm going to put in $22.15 as my tax, and we're going to hit the plus sign to actually add that tax to this invoice. So we have essentially calculated the tax manually, put the tax on the invoice, and told it what that tax amount is going to be. And we can delete it off. And if you have to change it, you're actually going to have to delete it off and put it back on there at the correct amount. But that's all there is to actually adding a manual tax. And then when you run your tax report, you'll see Glenn tax for $22.15 listed on the tax report that you paid or that you need to pay in the future.